while I was in college, I was working multiple jobs that were not photography related.
Yeah.
And I would be very stressed because I would be managing something. But every time I would stress out about any situation, it was always working out at the end, like, oh, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
And I found myself sitting there and realizing, oh, why did you stress out about this so much? It worked out.
Yeah.
And I noticed it along multiple jobs. Like no matter job that I did, um, there was a like situation where I had very like no control of.
Yeah.
You know, you can only control yourself. You can't control other people.
Of course.
And you are coordinating something or arranging something with somebody else, and how it comes out, it
Yeah.
depends on the person or timing,
Yeah.
multiple million other things, not you. And I just stopped worrying.
Mm.
I think this is really discovery for this life.
Seen is not just a podcast, it is a movement dedicated to amplifying the voices, experiences, and stories of women shaping the film and photography industries. We're going to dive deep into the soul work that these women undertake every day to pursue their dreams, passions, and to breathe life into their creativity. And all while fostering and nurturing a thriving community among women in our field. I'm Nalani Hernandez Melo, a creative photographer, director, and curator based in Los Angeles, and I am deeply honored to share this space with you as your host and creator of Scene. I'm excited to welcome today's guest, Toma Kostygina. Toma is a compelling portrait photographer whose work masterfully intertwines storytelling with concept-driven imagery. Drawing on the Western music culture of the 90s and 2000s and vintage cinematic lighting, Toma's photography merges nostalgia with a fresh, modern perspective. Her work is a deep dive into the psychological landscapes of her subjects, reflecting her unique blend of influences from film, literature, and her rural upbringing. Now based in a vibrant cultural hub of Los Angeles, Toma contrasts her early, quieter life with the dynamic worlds she creates through her lens. This juxtaposition gives her images a distinct character that balances raw emotion with a meticulous, crafted aesthetic. Her work is not just visually stunning, but also a testament to her exceptional ability to capture and convey complex emotional narratives through every frame. It's a pleasure to welcome you, Toma, to Scene Women Behind the Lens. Welcome.
Thank you, Nalani. I'm so honored to be here.
Thank you for saying yes.
Thanks for having me.
I always like to begin our conversation with a little icebreaker. Just a little check-in. How's the mind, the body, and the spirit today, Toma?
The body is very tired. The spirit is up.
And how's the mind?
It's just another day, and I'm just gonna have fun and live through it to the fullest.
Beautiful. I want to share a little bit of, I have the immense pleasure of getting to break bread with you at least once a month for the last couple of months, and it's been such a joy. One of my intentions for Scene is to build community for this show specifically with female creatives in our industries. But one thing I've been sharing at those dinners, and I share with Kyle and Justin, is that those dinners are such a healing space for me to get together and see family, creative family, and to just be in each other's home and eat a beautiful dinner. And sometimes we're just spending time together. So I just want to say thank you again, Toma, for being so welcoming and embracing me and even saying yes to this invitation, because I know it begins there at our dinners.
Thank you so much. Yeah, those dinners are always, I don't know what to say, you guys.
It's okay. It's okay.
Because it's very private, and I
Yeah.
try to keep, like, I'm a very private person, and
Mhm.
I try to keep it
Private.
not seen.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have so much fun on those dinners, and it's really great to get together
Yeah.
and share your, how your life has been, and
Mhm.
just support each other and just socialize this way, and you know just be around friends. I love it.
I love that you are always bringing the sweets, you bring the desserts. And I think this is a great segue into my first question because
Oh my God.
your sweets are always from a different place and country, from your travels and from home when your mom brings you something.
Yeah.
So let's start there. Can you tell us a little bit about your rural upbringing and how did that influence your creative process?
Yeah, I was born in the middle of nowhere, in the rural town of Siberia. It's a giant region in Russia.
Mhm.
So every time I say I'm from Siberia, everybody thinks of like eternal winters and there is no sun. So it's a huge piece of land. And I was maybe like more of the south side of Siberia. And we do have seasons. We grew veggies during the summers. We swam in the river.
Mm.
um, so yeah, it is not like eternal snowing, bears, and vodka. But that quiet rural life um, really kind of helped me to find connection with nature.
Mhm.
And I remember growing up when I was a kid, before internet, before um, computers, before
Yeah.
smartphones, before even pagers. I remember I wanted to live in the forest,
Ah.
um, as a, in a small hut,
Yeah, yeah,
a
yeah.
small cabin. I was thinking of like, oh, maybe one day I will have my own little house, cute, somewhere deep in the woods. But I'm here in LA.
Yeah.
So every time I'm maybe stressed or like if there is an unknown situation, that upbringing helps me to find the connection with nature and think of something green, foresty. Like I need trees around me.
I know I've heard you and Justin and Kyle talk about nature a lot. Do you regularly go out and ground yourself with nature around here?
I live in a complex that has trees around,
Okay.
and I just love waking up with birds. I don't like to close my windows when I'm
Mm,
falling asleep.
yeah.
I always open them up because I need to feel the sun on my face
Wow.
when I wake up in the morning. And I do, I mean, occasional hiking in
Yeah.
LA, whatever your schedule allows,
Yeah.
or if we go on a job that's somewhere outside. I go on road trips. I like to travel and go on solo trips. Like last year, I went to Hawaii just to snorkel, and I try to meet every turtle possible. But yeah, something nature always helps me.
That's amazing. That's even beautiful to learn that it's a it's a core element of your practice to ground. You
Yeah.
know, I was curious. My mom is an immigrant, and so she has shared her stories of how, moving to a completely new world has an impact not just to your experience, but your body, your mind, your emotions. And you as an artist, as a creative, what was that experience like traveling? And you're mentioning it even now that back home you had nature all around you, and now here, where you're building this new life, you have to make more of an effort. So can you walk me through a little bit of the what was it like immigrating and how long have you been here?
I immigrated here in 2010. So
Okay.
it's going to be 15 years in May. And right now I'm looking back at myself and I think, Toma, you were crazy. I like seriously right now, if I'm like, oh, 15 years later, I'm going to America, I'm like, are
Yeah.
you crazy?
Yeah.
Stay at home.
Yeah.
Um, that was so when I was growing up in those really remote areas, I was always amazed by American pop culture music. I
Mm.
loved MTV. I loved watching made I so everything was dubbed in Russian, so forgive me if I'm not translating
Yeah.
correctly. I think the show was called Making Off,
Mm.
where they were showing how they were making the music
Oh, the
videos,
music. I
the
remember this show.
MTVs. And I
Yes.
was I was just in awe of how many people it takes to create a music video or like a photo shoot. And
Yeah.
I always appreciated the amount of people and how like literally how much it takes, how much effort, organization.
Mm.
And now I'm here and I'm in this world and I'm so excited. I think I had some goals and I'm gradually moving towards them.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it's been a really long path
Yeah.
because I get excited and inspired by a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
And I start trying them like, oh,
Yeah.
what if I do this? What if I do that? And what if I do this? And then finally, I've become more intentional with what I do and it feels amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But I also feel great that I've tried everything. Like I know how to do this and that. Um, Immigration definitely was really hard,
Mm-hmm.
especially the first 5 years of my life
Yeah.
in being an immigrant. And I also came with very, like, I barely had any cash, but I had places to stay. I had work that was aligned for me, um, not like photography.
Yeah. Of
I
course.
went to college for photography, so I had
Okay.
to switch my careers. Um, but yeah, just because I had that kind of cushion,
Mm-hmm.
but a little bit of confidence, like a little bit of plan.
Yeah.
I knew where to stay. I knew what I was gonna do, that I'm gonna make a little bit of money and
Yeah.
then just keep going. I was kind of taking it one day at a time,
Yeah.
but I was just very excited to be here. I was like,
Yeah.
oh my God.
Would you say that watching those episodes of the making of on MTV and then arriving here, when did you decide, or was there a moment where you decided a camera was going to be the medium you use to express yourself?
Um, I think it started back in Russia when DSLRs just appeared. And in the city that I lived in for the 5 last years in Russia, there was a big nightlife photography.
Mm.
And I was inspired by that. And I also had friends that were a music band, and I wanted to capture them in those beautiful different lights,
That's
but also
amazing.
have them their faces not like overly blown with a flash.
This is great to hear you say that, because when I see your work, I used to be a raver when I was in college. I was in art school, but a lot of that photography, I was always amazed by how are these photographers balancing all the lights, but the DJ looks amazing, or the dancers and the audience. And so when I see your work, your portrait work, even it has that technique of capturing the emotion and the light, but everything's balanced. So it's beautiful to hear you
Thank
say
you.
that.
Yeah, that started back in Russia. And then I just came here and I was like, I want to, go to college and see where it takes me.
Mm.
So,
So you studied here?
yeah, I
Okay.
studied photography here. I went to Santa Monica College.
Okay.
They have the awesome photography department.
It's great. Shout out Santa Monica College.
Yay, Santa
Hey!
Monica College! Yee! I really wanted to go to Brooks Institute.
Yeah.
And I stayed in Santa Barbara for like a year
Yeah.
when I first came.
Mhm.
But I just couldn't afford it because being an immigrant, you're kind of trying to make
Of
yourself a
course.
living. So I just kind of had to figure it out. And I moved to LA and I just picked all photography classes. And then Brooks now, unfortunately, closed. Yeah,
When did
it's
they
been closed.
close?
Yeah, it's been for a while.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So it's no longer.
Oh, so sad.
Yeah.
Sad.
So yeah, and I took all the classes at Santa Monica College for
Amazing.
photography,
Mhm.
and I was very lucky to intern at big places with a big photographer, and then Milk Studios
Mhm.
Digital.
There's like a whole Milk Studios community. If you worked at a Milk Studios or done a job there, like you're initiated. You're really in
The sword.
yeah. we all have memories and experiences, goods and bad ones, but from Milk Studios, and but really it is part of like that photographer's and director's
Yeah, it's been a
story.
long path for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's dive in a little bit about your work. How does like the muse visit you, or the ideas of what, your experience, or you're unpacking so much raw emotion in your subjects. How do you like communicate with them and connect with them to get that?
Oh my God, where do I start? So if it's just a personal project,
Mm-hmm.
there is no assignments. I draw my inspiration from music, from literature, from movies.
Mm-hmm.
I do get inspired by complex character,
Mm-hmm.
like psychological drama
Mm-hmm.
um, in character. And I want to translate it into the lighting or the set or composition or something like that. If there is an assignment, I go by whatever they need to capture
Mm-hmm.
or like what emotion we need to present on the picture. How
Mm-hmm.
should it feel? So it's always a mood
Yeah.
or maybe the colors, maybe the contrast, maybe the
Yeah.
vibrance.
And how do you bridge that? Because it's a beautiful, I think that's one of our challenges and opportunities as photographers and creatives that when we do personal work, how do we create the client work, but to sprinkle it with that, that personal touch to make it almost a personal project. And so it's out in the world, even though it's for a client. So when you do receive an assignment, what are some key elements or things that you do to ensure that, Toma's special touch is in this image?
I can suggest,
Hmm.
depends on the conversation. There was an assignment for me to photograph a key art movie poster
Hmm.
for a short
Hmm.
called Because I Love You. And that was shot by wonderful directors from France. And they sent me the shorts, like the script, because it's a short, I read it.
Yeah.
And then based on the script, I was like, oh my God, this is like a very um, deep theme. And what can how can I translate it into this image? And
Mm-hmm.
it's just going to be one image on the poster. And I just suggested, okay, so how about we do this? And I don't remember what exactly I did. I think I sent them a few images, how
Hmm.
I want to shoot it, and they love the idea. So
So it's like
it,
almost
I
guiding.
think it just depends. Like
Yeah.
if they come to you, they love your style,
Yeah.
and they just okay. So Tom, like, what can you do? And I
Beautiful.
can suggest, or if there is more directions, so I can go and use those directions.
Do you have any suggestions or tips to, because that takes vulnerability and not being scared, like courage to speak up and make those suggestions or to say, this is what I envision, especially when you move into bigger clients. So,
Mm-hmm.
what are some practices or things you do to kind of build up that energy to take those big steps?
Just relax. Don't overthink it.
Yeah.
And if you need some time, just draft a sketch and then maybe meditate for 2 minutes, just relax and then
Yeah.
reread it, proofread it, and send it. Just don't overthink it.
Just do
Be
it.
yourself.
Be yourself.
Don't overthink it.
I wanted to ask about, you know, how do you tap into your own personal inner landscape to convey those deep emotions in your work?
I just try to relax,
Mhm.
and that's what I found to be working for me. Um, I kind of learned that by working while I was in college. I was working multiple jobs that were not photography related.
Yeah.
And I would be very stressed because I would be managing something. But every time I would stress out about any situation, it was always working out at the end, like, oh, 100%.
Mhm.
And I found myself sitting there and realizing, oh, why did you stress out about this so much? It worked out.
Yeah.
And I noticed it along multiple jobs. Like, no matter job that I did, um, there was a like situation where I had very like no control of.
Yeah. Of
You can only control yourself. You can't control other people.
course.
And you are coordinating something or arranging something with somebody else, and how it come out, how it comes out, it
Yeah.
depends on the person or timing,
Yeah.
multiple million other things, not you. And I just stopped worrying.
Mm.
I think this is really discovery for this life, and I'm grateful for it.
Absolutely. I think the lesson that I'm learning this year, and it's hard. It's hard because my little self, because of my experiences, um, learning to not take everything so personally. That's a big
Yeah,
one for me.
that too.
And in this and worrying about taking it personally because it's like it's a whole little funnel,
Yeah,
you know. Um, but similar to your experience, I have found, and it again, it's something I'm working on these last couple months, and when I do achieve that moment of like not taking, I do like, oh,
it feels so
what
great,
is this
right?
lighter feeling?
It feels so great. And especially it's hard in LA because people are
Yeah.
busy. Like they don't respond because they have gazillion
Exact
things going on.
exactly. It is a huge, like, weight off. I mean, I even noticed it this morning. I was reflecting. I'm a person who's always looking back, like, reflecting, and maybe because I'm a mother now and I'm seeing a child grow, from 0 to
Yeah.
um, and so I reflect a lot, and I was in the car, and this random thought of, and it had to do with texting someone and be like, "Oh, last year I would be like, ah," and now I'm like, just this even feeling in my car, just bobbing my head, like, "Oh." eh."
Yeah.
And then following that is the feeling of acknowledging that lighter feeling,
Yeah.
light of like, wow, this is beautiful to walk without that weight of a
Yeah.
blanket,
And without fear too.
without fear. Yeah. Or sometimes what I share with friends is, or I share also this with Luna, my daughter. It's like we're always going to be afraid. Fear is always there.
Yeah.
It's just our relationship with fear. We can either invite fear in and be like, "Hey, what's up?" Like, "Oh, you're here."
And then
Uh
freak out.
yeah, or be like, "No, you cannot come in here." Resist it. And for me, an analogy I always use with life, like, life is the ocean. It's one I've heard from different channels and people, but it really makes sense. Like, life is just this big ocean, and the goal is just to learn how to surf.
Yeah.
And the water is gonna always change. It's gonna be crazy swells. It's gonna be. I mean, you snowboard
Crazy,
too. It's
crazy
like,
creatures.
yeah, you have to like be intuitive and go with, um, and one of those is, yeah, not to worry of those things that you can't control, because there's always going to be things we can't control. And the other part to not taking things personally is that feeling of, I can't control how people feel about me or about a situation, but I can control how I feel. No one really has the power to make me feel a certain way. That's a choice I'm making if I'm going to
Yeah.
let it have an impact on me.
Yeah.
And it's a hard thing to put into practice, but when you do achieve those little moments, it's like, hurrah!
Yeah, but it's like every day. It's not like
Every
you did
day.
it once and it's
No,
lasting. No, it's like every day.
multiple times a
So
day.
in those moments, I find inspiration, or if I'm trying to relax, I can listen to music
Yeah.
and I find inspiration in music. And it can be anything. It can be either lyrics or arrangement of chords, or even like classical music, or
Yeah.
you know, or instrumental, or something more rocky
Mhm.
or ravey.
Raby, yeah, I love
Or
that.
I read a book and I imagine I pictures start to come up in my head.
Yes. I'm
So
curious, because we're still getting to know each other in our friendship. Do you also direct motion?
I have started recently
Okay.
and it's so much fun.
What is like a vision you have for going following that path? Because you talk about music and the emotions, and for me, it resonates so much to see you do more of that
of,
exploration, but in motion.
of crazy music videos.
Yeah.
I have so many ideas. I'm open to any experience with
Mm,
that.
and beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, now that you're experiencing and exploring directing, I have a question. What does it mean to you to be a woman behind the lens in an industry that's still mostly male dominated?
I feel very confident and strong when I'm behind the lens,
Mm-hmm.
either I'm directing or photographing.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel gratefulness for whomever hired me or whomever the subject is. So they are trusting me with my vision.
Mm.
And when we're working as a team, I'm also grateful because everybody's chipping in, everybody's working on the same project. And it's just I'm just on cloud nine. I was like, oh my God,
It's magic.
I saw this when I was a little, not little, but like teen.
Yeah. I
Somewhere in the middle of nowhere, and I'm
I I
here.
I love that. Let's pause there for a moment because I was sharing this just the other night with a friend. I actually showed the trailer for this podcast to a friend, and I had a moment and hearing you say it, like seeing you go like this and like,
Yeah.
that's the feeling I was having of the little me is still and will always be in awe when we finish a project or when we're on set. The magic of taking an idea from an idea
Yes.
into the real world.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
describe
feels
that.
it feels like it's I don't know. Sometimes it's hard to believe until it's done. And I'm like looking at it and I'm like, oh my God, is it real? I'm so happy and grateful. And
Yeah.
oh my God.
And I think the crazy thing about our industry is like, I sometimes have to explain this to my grandparents because they don't quite understand what I do. The idea for us is that it's such a fleeting moment, right?
Yeah.
You know, it takes so much energy and effort to get to the point. There's so much pre-production, but then the shoot and then the piece is done and then it's done until
Yeah.
your next job, until the next project. So it's very ephemeral, And even when if it's a video or a image and it's out in the world, like that's it. It's like this huge buildup fire, and then it's and
Yeah.
that in itself is like we're going through so many rebirths and like
Yeah.
creatively.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm still thinking about like male dominated industry.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've been lucky not to have some kind of weird experiences. It's kind of it was always a harmony to me.
Amazing.
And I worked on sets both like only male team, only female team, or mixed team.
Mm-hmm. And what do you think are some, important, what would you say, essences to ensuring inclusivity, especially in our industry? Your experience, you had harmony and you never felt those challenges or opposition or oppression that other women have experienced on set, either from males or even from other women, because it's such a competitive industry and it's also very physical. Even for me right now with my hand injury
Yeah.
and you're the guest and you're helping me, but in your mind, I think this when you're starting off, this industry really grains it in you, like you have to be able to put this light up by yourself, move all this.
Yeah.
And what we could talk about here is that transition of going from, when you're assisting and then when you step into taking the lead. It's almost a little wonky when you're like, oh, I have people to help me. You want to go put your Apple box or you want to but there's people there now. Looking back in those experiences and those harmony environments for you, is there anything that stands out that these individuals do or contributed to making that space a harmony?
I think everybody knows their jobs and they stay in their lanes. I think this is the best on the set.
Yeah.
Um, but I think I'm the worst advisor when it comes to like, what do we do for inclusivity? Because I never had like that experience from
Mm.
where I could learn something and, make a suggestion.
Mm. That's beautiful. That's all. Even that self-awareness, though, is still it's amazing to have and to share. Looking into the future and envisioning how your work can inspire others. The chicken.
The shake.
Yeah. How do you envision your work inspiring others to embrace their authenticity and to embrace their raw emotions? And do you ever think about how your work can have that impact?
I never think about it. Never. If somebody's inspired by my work, I don't know what to feel about it. I was like, okay, great.
Mm. Well, let's explore that a little bit. Who do you make your work for?
Hmm. A personal
Mm-hmm.
personal work
Yeah.
is mostly for myself, or I want to show how I see things.
Yeah.
And this is kind of a self-expression.
Yes.
Or like there is a book that I read, or
Mm.
there is that music that I listened to and I got inspired, and this is what I have. And I have some sketches, like, or I was meditating and this is what came to me, and I want
Mm.
to recreate this image. So it's not like a kid's style drawing,
Yeah.
but it's a photograph and it has more impact.
Some people like to discern between I'm a photographer or I'm an artist. Some people don't call themselves an artist. They just where do you land? Do you identify with artist?
I feel like I'm more of an artist
Mm-hmm.
because I love doing conceptual things.
Yes.
Give me like a concept, give me an adjective, the brand or the mood, and I want to create something based on the words, music.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel more like that. But if
Mm-hmm.
there is a certain assignment where, oh, we need this portrait or this with this product
Yeah. Yeah.
interacting like that in this direction, camera needs to be this way. So I can do that too.
What, have you always been an artist ever since you were little?
I feel like everybody is an artist.
Ooh, tell me more about this.
I feel like it depends on how you are not treating your life, but what's the better expression? How you live your life, maybe,
Mm-hmm.
or
Mm-hmm.
how you relate or like think to that. I cannot
Or I even think
figure
of like
out the word.
expressing, like how you
Yeah,
express
how
yourself.
you express yourself.
Yeah.
For me, I found that space in me,
Mm-hmm.
maybe somewhere where I was doing meditations or something like that, where I find that inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm still learning how to get into that, state of mind.
Yeah.
And to me, any work or any life situation can be an inspiration for how to express myself visually.
Have there ever been moments that you can feel and sense in your body or maybe even your mind, wherever inspiration hits, where there's an idea and it needs to come out, but you're it's almost like you can't figure out the way to get it out. It's a moment of like frustration or tension. And when you experience that, what have you found helps you break through?
Dancing.
Dancing. That's great.
Or doing
Movement.
some exercise, I'm like moving.
Moving. Mm.
Anything physical,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
relaxation, like physical relaxation. Go to a spa, get a massage,
Hmm.
but like moving, dancing,
It's
working
almost
out.
like literal
Literal, yeah.
movement to release.
Yes.
That's incredible.
And it cannot be boxing. I tried box. I cannot hit another person. Like it has to be something non-repetitive, not like we're doing the same movement again and again. But dancing has a nice routine where you
Yeah, of
always change the moves. So
course.
yeah.
Is there anything you wish or Toma now would tell little Toma to help her on her journey?
Enjoy every moment.
Mm.
Relax.
Mm.
It's gonna be okay. Everything is gonna work out.
Always does, doesn't it?
Yes.
Always does.
I know.
Yeah. Did you ever imagine yourself here at this point?
No.
Yeah.
And you know what? My first Californian city where I lived for the first year of my immigration was Santa Barbara. And I would never think of that. my grandma used to watch those episodes of soap opera called Santa Barbara.
Oh, I didn't know.
And in Russia, like if you say Santa Barbara, everybody has association with the soap opera first, then the city. And I was watching that, like there was a beginning subtitles with
Yeah.
with the images of Santa Barbara, and I was like, oh. Um, and then I lived there, and I was like, I would never think.
Yeah. That you're here now.
I know.
I,
Crazy.
which brings me back to, you said something earlier about when you're reflecting on how long you've been here, there's a part of you that says, Toma, no, stay home. Go home. Describe that a little bit. What is that experience now? If it's maybe it's age, or what is it that your present self is saying, maybe we should stay home, go back home?
Nothing tells me that.
Mm,
No experience tells me that. And I'm very grateful to my younger self
yeah.
that even though without any plan, like
Yeah.
any certain plan, um, very little cash,
Yeah.
I just moved here.
Yeah.
And especially with the situation that right now, I'm really grateful to be
Yes.
here.
Absolutely. Absolutely. What are you? I mean, you've mentioned meditation. Um, you're very intentional with your time, and you're very tuned with your body, and understand that you have to move it or breathe to release. What other, maybe for someone who's having a really hard time navigating the challenges of the world, or even just the day, is there an experience that was just, you almost threw the towel in, and then something within you helped you get to the other side?
It was very challenging. I had like maybe a year or two like that
Mm-hmm.
where I was very sad.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to talk to myself. And I'm like, well, you who brought yourself here, you who made all of these decisions, and nobody would make it for you except for you.
Mm-hmm.
So either you do something or you're going to stay like that and do nothing. But it takes a while. It's so difficult. And I also had therapists. I also love human psychology. I
Mm-hmm.
love how they develop a character in a book,
Yeah.
or I love like whatever they do in psychological thrillers or something like The
Yeah.
Substance.
Yeah.
Literally, this one,
Yeah.
I love, reading about that. So I'm kind of like digging into myself without being obsessed about it.
Yeah.
So I'm not lost. So I'm like, okay, so what about if we do this and this? So I'm trying to kind of like negotiate in my head. I know
Mm-hmm.
it sounds really odd, but it helped me, like the inner dialogue.
Yeah.
And then like I was really in low spirits one year when the strikes happened and the
Mm-hmm.
jobs went low, and I was
Yeah.
like, okay, so what am I going to do now? Let's explore my options. But I'm like, I don't want to change my career the second time. um so one day I was like, well, what do I need to do? I need to move. And that's how I discovered dancing classes. I'm like, I love dancing, but the
Ah.
closest dance class is at the gym,
Yeah.
so I'll just go. So, and I kind of talked myself into it, and I love it now.
Yeah. I think in our conversation, what I really, really just want to acknowledge and give you your flowers for is that you've developed this beautiful, what you called it, this inner dialogue with yourself. Like, you talking about fear, you're not afraid to actually have those hard conversations with yourself. And I think as an artist, that is one of the first things we need to learn to have, because whenever we're making work, it's really honestly a conversation with ourselves. And then the next step of tackling fear is like, do we have the courage to now show it to other people? right? Um, and so it's beautiful that Toma, like in this whole conversation, you don't have everything figured out, but what you do know is that you can go in
Yeah.
and check in with yourself and ask. And that's beautiful. That's so beautiful to see that you're doing. And from the moment we first met, when I first met you, it was just spirituality is big to me, energy is big, and it's to see you and to see what you radiate. You do radiate groundedness and confidence, and like I'm comfortable in my skin and who I am. And even when you share your sweets, it's just as a beautiful, like, this is who I am and what I
I just
am.
like to
And
treat
yeah,
people with sweets
yeah.
and eat them myself
And
with
it's
them.
so playful. You're so playful. It's beautiful. Um and I also want to, with curiosity, ask about, I love seeing the juxtaposition to your like playfulness, but you talk about your work and the content that, like, literature and music and things you like to receive, have a more deeper psychological shadow side to it, but it's a curiosity to understand and comprehend. And so
It's the drama.
yes, it is the drama. It's the drama. And where did that start? The drama of this curiosity and want for the drama.
Oh my God. It started from day one.
You were born
I
for the
was
drama.
born. Yeah, I think like a lot of people.
Yeah.
I grew up during economical crisis and with a
Yeah.
single mom. It was really tough years,
Mm-hmm.
and mom was anxious and stressed, so it affected me a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But I learned how to. She was always like humorous about certain situations. But I was just like mostly by myself. Like we had to figure stuff out
Yeah.
by ourselves.
Are you an only child?
No,
No.
I have a sister.
Esther, yeah.
So yeah, I think that drama starts there. I heard some people told me that I have like an old soul.
I definitely get that.
I had to learn a lot of like things from early childhood how to do, um
Like on your own. Yeah.
I mean with the direction of
Yeah.
adults.
Yes.
So the drama comes from there, I think.
Mm. And
And then
it,
also I like to oppose it to, maybe not oppose it, but try to show it with from a like a perspective, life perspective,
yeah.
because um I mean everybody has their own challenges in life. Every single person.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
not like rainbow every day for everyone, for
No.
anyone.
No.
So I feel like the drama is the reality of life for me, because you always have something going on, or um, some problems that you need to solve, or issues, or something that comes to you that you need to find solution to. Um, so that's the drama.
Yeah. No, and I resonate a lot with that because I studied theater for many years when I was younger, and uh I too have such an affinity and respect and curiosity about, you know, in theater and stories and plays and literature, they're they're dramedies, you know, where we have
That's
drama,
my favorite
yeah, drama,
genre. Yeah, that's my favorite.
comedy, tragedy, because it's like you said, best it's the best example of life. It'll
Yeah.
have its highs, its lows, its midpoints. And that's why we had them too, you know, as a way to lighten our experience and to realize, like, it's gonna be some
Yeah.
good times and some bad times. But it is, I too grew up with a single mom, and I applaud her.
I don't know how you're doing this. In LA. I don't know. I applaud you.
I was saying, my mom was also a single mom and young, and I applaud her for the point of, she did a great job, and it sounds like your mom also did a great job through her humor of guiding us as little ones to we were experiencing also the heaviness and the drama or
Yeah.
the traumas, but our mothers found a way to bring, I always call it magic, because she used fantasy, fairy tales, and
Mm.
children's books and magic, and um, she really brought those worlds into my life. Um, and she pours so much energy. I mean, my mom was the one that would write the Christmas Santa Claus letter, like Santa Claus left the letter, or the Three Kings, because we're from Mexico, and I have letters from the Three Kings and Santa Claus. But the level of execution this woman did,
Oh my God.
like glitter and like the penmanship and the burned edges, like parchment. I share all this to say, like, uh, the power of mothers to find the mothers who do find a way to almost protect their children from what is happening around them. It could develop into creatives like us who understand the beauty of life because we were given beauty
Yeah.
or humor.
In spite of the stress
Yes,
that you have to go through
yes,
as a child,
yeah,
like literally no food, no money,
yeah. But because
freezing temperatures.
we went through these different
Yeah.
things, we're now as creatives curious about, like, I see beauty in the pain. A lot of the stories that I think about that I want to develop into film, or their heartbreak, their love stories that don't end with happy endings, because but that in itself is still beautiful, you know? Um and
It's all about how you perceive.
exact perception. Yes, perception.
We're all in the same boat in this
Yeah.
life, and I feel like find that expression and still find humor in difficult situations,
Yeah.
not like obnoxious or just
Absolutely.
very kind.
I taking us back to our dinner parties, um, that is a dynamic of community that I want to shed light on. When we're at our dinner parties and the dynamic of our group, it's such a different space than other spaces I've experienced. I mean, every space is very special in different circles. But one thing I appreciate of ours is that we can be very silly and sometimes poke fun at each other,
Yeah.
but it's such a loving way. And when we all have accidents
Yeah.
or heaviness, it it's such a perfect balance. Like I witness it, how everybody first teases a little, but then it really becomes, but let's embrace you. Because I've been in other circles where it's just like shit talking, and I'm like,
Oh
oh,
my God.
that's,
Yeah, no.
but
No toxicity.
it is a beautiful thing, to maybe an energetic thing, that it draws us together, of knowing like these are our values, or this is how we navigate these hardships. And um when you moved here, how big was community for you in navigating now this new world and new
When I
space?
first immigrated,
Uh-huh.
it was small. It was very small. Again, I think I figured things out because I was used to be by myself emotionally.
Yeah.
Um, it was very small but very supportive.
Yeah.
And then once I moved here, I started meeting more people and my community grew a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I meet people from different countries. And since I speak two languages, I can,
Yeah.
communicate with vast, like you
Yeah.
are, with a vast majority, a
Yes.
bigger circle. So I have like friends, I have different chats. I have
Yes.
several chats. I have like our little chat, and I
Yeah.
have another little chat
Yes.
with people that are also in the very inner circle.
Yeah. It's like honoring different facets of you, because all of those make up who you are. and
Totally.
and the belief that you're not going to receive everything you need from this one person or this one circle or this. And so, having that freedom, and giving yourself permission to diversify, and also And it doesn't make one more special than the other. It's like they're all channels and
Yeah.
connections and essences
And
of
it's
you.
not like they're just different.
Yes.
But I love being in those, smaller communities where you can share
Yeah,
things, you can support someone,
absolutely.
embrace.
Yes.
Dinner parties are always best.
Dinner parties are always the best. Highly recommend that anybody looking for community,
Bringing sweets.
yeah, bringing desserts, or the cocktail of the party. The spirit, bringing the spirits and the sweets.
The most important.
Yeah.
Yeah. The spirit, not the sweets.
As we prepare to like wind down and land, I'm curious, are there any wise words or closing thoughts you want to share with anyone in our community or in our industry as they're navigating a creative life and choosing to be an artist every day? You mentioned the strikes, like you said, I'm not giving up. I'm not going to, anything that comes to mind that you can share.
Huh. I think I already said relax, it's going to work out,
Mm-hmm.
but also be alert
Mm.
and think of different ways, not ways out, but means maybe,
Mm.
or ways how you can do something else, or if something is not working out, what
Yeah.
else can you do, or how else can you do it? Be creative. It's such a cliche, um, with how you approach it.
Mm. That's beautiful. Be alert. I like that. I would even say, like, 'cause this is what life has asked, be fluid, like adaptable.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think adaptable is the word.
Yeah. Adaptable, but learning to be authentic too.
Yeah,
The idea of not abandoning yourself
that's
because,
also very important
yeah.
because with all the things that are going around, everybody's so great. I see somebody's work and I instantly get inspired and I want to do something in the same style. And I'm like, no, this is not me. And
Yeah.
still, to every day, I have to think, okay, so this is me and this is not me. This is me, this is not me. So, yeah, stay in your lane. Find yourself and
Find
stay in your lane.
yourself. Yeah. What helped you find yourself?
A lot of things.
Mm.
Talking to myself a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm also listening to that Russian speaking psychologist.
Oh,
And he had like several ways of, if you're in doubt, this is what you should do. Like ask
wow.
yourself, even right now, like allow to ask yourself, because we are also like, our culture was of upbringing was like, you cannot do this, you only can do what your mother says to do, or like very
Mm.
strict. So you didn't really have a choice. So I was learning how to give myself a choice and choose what I want, not somebody else wants for me.
Wow.
So that was a discovery, but I'm glad I discovered
Yes.
it.
That wow, the freedom of choice.
Yeah.
And to honor just your choice.
Yeah. Even like what do I want to eat today? Is it this cuisine or this, or should I cook, or what would I feel like?
Yeah.
So it's liberating.
Absolutely. And to understand also that not everyone has
Has the
that.
opportunity to
Yeah.
do that.
To have that choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
Growing up, we
privilege.
didn't just economically had the choices. And even
Mm.
when on my first years of immigration, I had to say no to many things.
Yeah. I think that brings up for me. I've, growing up Mexicana, Latina here, and daughter of an immigrant, I say this all the time that my mom took a really big chance um, and trust to tell me it's okay to go study, or she didn't even question me wanting to study art, you know? and I recognizing that privilege of, you know, I got to go to school for art. Now as a mom, I'm like, oh my God, we should reconsider that. But no, but just to acknowledge with gratitude that not everyone gets that choice, that not everyone gets the freedom to choose what they really, or even have the support, be it from your parents or your government,
Yeah.
like it's a very, I'm glad you brought that up, because a humbling reminder that we need to be grateful that,
Yeah. But also when you
yeah,
make this choice and
commit.
something, yeah, commit. And if something goes wrong, so like be responsible, like take,
Yeah. Hold yourself accountable.
yes,
It was your
exactly.
choice.
That
You
was
made
your
the choice.
choice.
Yeah.
What is the lesson?
Oh, God. Today was a day of lessons, Toma. Today was a day
No,
of
I don't want.
lessons, which is good. Because, yeah, that's another lesson too. Holding yourself accountable. Because that takes courage too. That takes so much courage.
I think we can talk forever about this,
Absolutely.
psychological
I think I'm
things.
excited. I'm excited to continue talking with you about life and at our dinner, our next dinners, and um, you know. But I just want to say thank you so much, Toma,
Thanks for having me.
for taking, finding the courage to say
Yes.
yes and to come and sit with me. And I want to acknowledge that you are someone who keeps life very close to the heart. So thank you for being vulnerable and allowing yourself to be in lights and to be seen. I honor your trust in me. So thank you. And so much gratitude for you, Toma.
Thank you, Nalani. I'm so honored to be here.